So a piece of manifesting advice you've probably heard a million times before is that thoughts become things. Well, that sounds all well and good when you are feeling good and you're having good thoughts, but what happens when you start to feel like crap? So today I'm going to dive into this manifestation idea, tell you why it's not really true, and tell you what you can do instead and how you really don't need to worry if you're feeling like crap, because you can still manifest, and that's the good news. So if you're interested in finding all of that out, then keep watching. Hi guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you don't know who I am a life coach and law of attraction teacher, and this is my YouTube channel where I make 2 videos every week all about mindset and manifestation so that I can help you guys to manifest your dreams and live your best life ever. So if that sounds like a good plan to you, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. So as I said at the top, one of the biggest manifestation myths, I would say, is that thoughts become things. And I understand where this idea came from, and it's not entirely wrong. You can obviously create many beautiful things from your life. And if you want to just look around the room where you're watching this right now, look at every single man-made thing that's around you and realize that everything was just a thought in somebody's head at one point in time. You can't understand how powerful our thoughts really are. However, we tend to get this a little twisted in the manifesting world because it tends to turn into this superstitious way of thinking that you need to feel good all the time in order to attract what you want into your life. So, and again, this comes from the idea that we're all vibrational creatures and we attract what we put out, basically. So you want to think good thoughts to attract good things. And at first, that makes perfect sense. However, what happens when you have a bad day at work? What happens when you have a bad month at work? What happens when you have a bad year at work? Does that really mean that you can't manifest? And thankfully, the answer is no. You can manifest even when you feel like crap. You can manifest on a bad day. You can manifest on a bad week. So I really want to deconstruct this idea and talk about where this came from and why it isn't exactly the whole entire truth. And thank goodness for that. So if you watch this channel for a while, you know that I talk all the time about the power of creating a mindset. So what I want to tell you guys, the difference between a mindset and just thinking good thoughts, they're completely different things, right? So mindset is something that is there with you all the time, and it can help you out of a rut. It can help you out of a dark place. It can help you to turn the ship around when things go wrong. The thing is, when it comes to manifesting and this idea that you can't manifest anything good for yourself unless you feel good, and then things that are quote unquote bad start to happen to you, you start to feel like, well, I thought bad thoughts, so I attracted that thing to me. And this becomes a very disempowering way of being. So you are a human being and you get to experience the entire range of human emotion. And yes, I said get to. I know when you're feeling down that you don't feel like that is an experience that should be cultivated or appreciated. But honestly, like, we need the bad parts of life in order to highlight the good. And I know that might not seem like much of a consolation when you're going through a rough patch, but it really is true. So think about it this way, like when we have daylight hours, we appreciate daylight hours all the more because we know the nighttime is coming. We know the darkness is coming. So moods, emotions are polar, like just like day and night, like hot and cold. We learn to appreciate things more when we understand the contrast, right? Okay, so every single person that you know, it doesn't matter how many good thoughts they have, it doesn't matter, you know, how many times they meditate, it doesn't matter, you know, how many yoga classes they go to or whatever else, how many crystals they own, it doesn't matter. Sooner or later, something quote unquote bad is going to happen to them. It's going to ruffle their feathers. They're going to feel down, whether that's for an hour, a day, a week, or even longer. And that is totally okay. So we aren't here only to experience the good things in life. We are also here to experience the bad things. And the bad things are here for a couple of very important reasons. Like I said, they're number one here to show us contrast, to show us you know, how good things are when we have them. Like if everything was good all the time and we felt good all the time, we would get bored because we would never know that there was another way of being, right? And the other way that negative emotions can really help you and are really part of your journey is because when you identify certain negative emotions or when certain things in life don't feel good, that is a very big signal to you that you need to do some work, right? So maybe you are in a work situation that is past its prime. Maybe a friendship is not lifting you up anymore. Maybe it's your romantic relationship that isn't doing it for you, or something feels off. Sometimes those negative emotions are here as a wake-up call and to remind you that you want something different. And of course, if you want something different, you're allowed to have something different. You are allowed to claim every desire you have. You deserve every desire you have. So experiencing a negative emotion isn't something to be afraid of, and it is something that every single person on earth experiences. Therefore, because we can all experience negative emotions and we all have times when we're feeling down, our manifesting powers don't go on pause during those times, nor do our thinking negative thoughts cause more bad things to happen, okay? I really want you to get this point because this is a lot of the literature out there. It really is blaming people for things that are outside of your control. And of course, we can control so much. And the reason why I'm so big on mindset is because you can control so much more about your life than you have been led to believe. I am so super passionate about this idea. However, we cannot control certain things. We cannot control what other people do. We cannot control when other people in our life pass away, for example. We can't control all of these things, right? We have to learn how to deal with them. And that's where mindset comes in as a way of coping when those times come up. Okay, so it isn't that you cause them to happen. It isn't as if you can do everything perfectly and avoid all that stuff. Most of that stuff actually has really nothing to do with you. Some of those bigger things in life, they are part of your karma, they're part of your destiny, and they're ultimately here to teach you a lesson, to help you do something while you're here on earth. We are here on earth to experience emotion and to experience contrast, right? This is what I believe. We all are part of the universe itself. We came down here to experience separation and the illusion of fear, and we are here to experience loss, discomfort, all of that stuff. And that might not sound like, wow, what a stupid game we're playing, but that's actually it. And the trick is to just keep remembering that underneath it all, we are all love and we are all unity consciousness. And when you remember that, it all becomes so much easier to handle. Anyways, that's an aside. So to come back to, can you manifest when you feel like crap? Yes, you absolutely can. And I want you guys to think back and to remember a time in your life where you called in something in your life, when a manifestation came through that you were really hoping and praying for. And I want you to think about the time before that. And let me just ask you, were all your thoughts 100% positive all the time? Were all your emotions 100% positive all the time? Think about it. The answer for most people is, of course, no, because most of us experience a range of emotion in the course of every day, in the course of every hour even, right? We are so polar in our own minds. We are full of contrasting emotions all day long. So for example, so many times maybe you wake up and you're in a great mood and you feel wonderful and everything seems to be going your way, and then you're on your way to work and a car drives by and splashes a puddle on you. And then you're like, shit, now what do? I feel like crap. I shouldn't have gone this way. I shouldn't have worn this outfit. Now I have to go home. My whole day is ruined, blah, 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 blah. So what has just happened there is that you went from this really happy, everything is amazing place, and you've let this one crappy event bring you down, and now everything sucks. So that's just showing you like how our brains are so super dramatic, and they also love polarity. They love to be like good, 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 bad, 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 bad. And I'm just telling you that. I'm illustrating this to you because when your brain does that, the bad thing, and it starts to like spiral in a downwards motion, like again, you can get control of that. You do not have to live there. In fact, I would suggest trying to get out of it. But understanding that even if you experience that, even if you're down for 20 minutes or an hour or 3 days or a week or a month or whatever, if you're feeling that way for that long, things can still come through, because it's really your belief structure, it's your self-worth, and it's also the action that you're putting out into the world. It is not just your thoughts. You do not have to think perfect thoughts. which thank God, because nobody thinks perfect thoughts. So I just wanted to make this video today just to remind you guys that vibration is so much more complicated than just your thoughts, and it is really about the bigger picture. So whenever it comes to manifestation and you're thinking about getting on the same level as something, don't sweat the small stuff. Think about the bigger picture. Think about the actions you're putting in the world. Think about the way you're thinking of yourself. Think about your own identity. Think about your worth. Think about these bigger concepts, because that's all part of your energy as well. It is not just your thoughts. If it was just your thoughts, we'd have crazy, chaotic results all day long, and that isn't the way it works. Again, thank goodness. So I really hope that this video goes to reassure you guys. Yes, you can manifest even when you feel like crap, and I have proof of it, and I bet if you look in your own manifesting journals, you have proof of it as well. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this video has served you well. If you liked it, give it a like. If you know somebody that can use this message, pass it along to them. And if you want to learn more about me, come on over to the website. I have a free Fear Breakthrough Workbook for you guys to download over there, which is amazing at helping you release any internal fears or limiting beliefs around whatever you might happen to be manifesting into your life. So come on over, download your copy. I would love to hang out with you over there. Other than that, I'll be back here soon in the next video. So until then, I'm wishing you an amazing week. Go out there, manifest like crazy, and as always, just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.